Hi, my name is Two Simple Sands, your court attorney, and I smell a fucking liar, so let's go. I was bringing. I was going door to door, and I saw a man fleeing the scene, fleeing the apartment. I thought he was. Wait a minute. Fleeing the apartment. I have nothing for that. A woman was lying there. Not moving at all, okay. Quaked in fear. The cell phone called press. Let's press him. The phone in the apartment wasn't working? Yes, I mean, no, it wasn't. Right? But you said you didn't go into the apartment, or did you? Oh, I did. I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entryway. I reached inside and tried using that to call.
And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next?
I went to a nearby park. Oh, wait a minute. Why use a public phone? Well, you see, I don't have a cell phone. And being the middle of the afternoon, there was no answer at the nearby apartment. All right. What time did you call again? Okay, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Autopsy. Okay. Wait a minute. Was exactly one. That doesn't seem right to me. Objection. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Well, why was the body found at 4 p.m.? Freak. I found that hard to believe. I'm the best lawyer. Your statement defines connections of the autopsy report. The autopsy note. Time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was nobody to find the body at 1. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? That's...
Objection. That is irrelevant. The witness merely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I found that hard to believe. Mr. Freke, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? That's really a good question. Great job, Wright. Why? Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out the connections. Lies and discrepancies always bring more lies. Always been more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Yeah, would you care? I'll just see through your lies, because I am a liar. Or at least I used to be. Well, and I always know how to see through people's lies, like my father was a liar. Let's go. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. I had the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off. Wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry. The mistaken and terribly mistaken. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay. Let's see his lie spawn beneath his lying ass. Right. You know what to do. I'll give this one. I got this one. Okay? Okay? You see, I found the body. I had the time. Okay, let's see. Could there be anything? No. We heard it on a TV show. Passport. There's nothing here. Oh! Oh! I got you, motherfucker. I got you. No. I need to hear that testimony again. Because there's a blackout. He wouldn't have been able to hear fucking anything. Hang on. He heard it on a taped programming. Found the body. Voice saying something. Cover the television. I got you, motherfucker. Here, let's present this. Objection! Hold it right there. The prosecutioner has said that there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defendant has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Freke? No, I found it quite puzzling myself. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Freke, the courtroom would prefer to hear an active testimony from the very beginning. Their criticism and correction are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Freke. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. I got his ass on a fucking fire. I'm not letting it go. Actually, I didn't hear at the time. I said it. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murderer. The murder weapon. The killer That wasn't the murder weapon! Oh my God! It was a statue! You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defendant may cross-examine the witness. I got you, motherfucker! This is so much fun! I should be a lawyer. At some point, I should. Actually, I didn't hear I saw it. Table clock. Bitch. Boom. I'm about to ruin this whole man's career. This man's whole career. Wait a minute. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was the statue. Now, how is that supposed to be a clock, huh? You, with your objections, your evidence, just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Freke. Hey, I saw it there, okay? There's a clock. That's a clock.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Perry. Mr. Payne?
As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud, as it doesn't look like it's the...
Oh, how would he have saw that if he wasn't in the room? How would he have saw that? So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness testimony was correct as the clock. You have any statement? You have any problems with the testimony now? Yes, I do, actually. Your Honor, there is a gap, a gaping hole in the witness's testimony, as gaping as his mother's vagina. Because she's a whore, you get it, Your Honor? The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is if he was holding it in his hands. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a correction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went to the apartment, because he knew the victim. Of course he knew the victim. Because he went to the apartment. You're lying! You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder! Prove it! Prove I went inside! I'll do better than that! I'll prove you were the one who killed her! You struck me with the clock. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard! Order in my court, including please press continue with your testimony, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I got him! Mr. Freke. The sound was left. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. Unbelievable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. The voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
Objection! What's the meaning of this? This is all bless. Objection!
Blissless? Just look at the witness's face! Would the witness care to explain? Do you strike the victim? Did you strike the victim with the clock? I never. Look, the clock. I heard. No, I mean, I saw. He's bald. He's bald. Oh my God. Shut up. I hate you. It was him. I tell you, I saw him. He killed her. He should burn. Give him death. Oh, seems he's a little bit shooken. Me think the plaintiff doth protest too much. Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shadow of doubt, shadow of evidence supporting the defendant's claims.
Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound that the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Freke heard was definitely this clock. In fact, this is clearly, if you said, okay, explain the clock's batteries, asked the neighbor. Try the sound. Oh. If I try the sound. The sound. Let's let the sound let's the sound of the clock now here in the courtroom. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the courtroom to listen very carefully. Beep beep. I think it's wait! Certainly is a strange way to announce the time. It says I think. That's exactly what his testimony is. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So we heard the clock. What are you considering, Mr. Wright? Mr. Blaine, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25.
As you can see, this clock is exclude 3 hours slow. It's extremely 3 hours slow. Between what Mr. Freke heard and the act of time of death. So, Mr. Freke, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he thinking about? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it! I'm so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you induct a witness. Unfortunately. Order the end of the cross-examination of Mr. Freke. I came all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all scum. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Did I actually fail? Not so fast, Mr. Freke. Oh! Me? I mean, Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away like that. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can do that. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assuming the clock was 3 hours slow, and think through it. Ask yourself why the clock's 3 hours slow. Figure out the reason, and you'll have your proof. Right? You can think of a reason as why the clock was 3 hours slow. Yeah, I can. Wait a minute. Wait. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, You say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. You have found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court records that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. He's acting like he knows me, but he doesn't. All I am doing is just fucking up his life right now, and I don't feel bad about it. Okay. Well, the clock was running slow. Okay. Fuck it. Wait a minute. Okay, weapon time. Timer done. Wait a minute. The passport! Oh! She's still on Paris time, assuming that Paris does have different time. Objection, if I'm right. The victim had just returned home from aboard the Yes! Before the murder. As we all know, the time differs between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. I got your ass, motherfucker. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow. It was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Freke, or should I say, Mr. Did it? Did he just have a fucking seizure? Oh my god! He had a seizure from rage! Order! Order, I say! Oh my god! Well, this case has certainly turned out different than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your client?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
I'd say I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. That was real quick, wasn't it? I'm not editing anything in this, guys. This is 100% genuine. I've never seen anybody play this game before. I just did the facts and find the truth at the same time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Yep, I told you he didn't do it. And with that, the court is adjourned. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It turned out that Freke was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of their house, or out of their home that day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Freke let himself in to do his dirty work. When he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Freke grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. And, well, there's nothing I can do for you, lady, but just know that your murderer is where he belongs, in jail, hopefully getting butt fucked. Hope they send him to San Quentin, because we all know they're fucking in San Quentin. They should call it San fucking. And goodbye, everybody. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.